Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Conversations with Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com, and we're also on YouTube. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another great episode of Conversations with Richardson. I am your host, and we are here to talk about a very important topic. As you know, we always talk about disabilities and different things of that nature on my show. Today will be no different. I would like to welcome my very special guest and co-host, Miss Lakeisha Jones. Lakeisha, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I would like to also welcome my new extended family, member of the famous Baptiste family, Mr. Damon Baptiste. Damon, my good sir, how are you?
Good morning, New Orleans. Good morning, Louisiana. I'm doing fantastic.
All right, Damon. I want you to take it away and introduce yourself and tell my listening audience who you are.
Well, my name is Damon J. Baptiste. I'm a New Orleanian, a native New Orleanian. I'm the president, founder, and culture ambassador of the New Orleans South African Connection. I'm also a member of the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. I'm an alumni of St. Augustine High School, class of 1986. And I'm also because I attended Southern University, SUNO. So they say if you attended, then you're in the family. You're alumni of Southern for life. So I'm a SUNO person as well. Went to about 3 different colleges in New Orleans. Well, throughout the state, I ran track at St. Augustine. I think my endurance has led me to be a caretaker. Most of all, the people don't know for my son with cerebral palsy that has inspired me to go into new boundaries that I didn't know I had.
Yes. So that's the reason why we're bringing you in today, because you wanted to shed some light on what it's like being a father, raising a child that is differently able. I'm trying to shy away from the term disabled, and I'm trying to get better.
Well, you could say special needs are God's children. People classify because they're really a special entity in America and around the world.
Yes.
That if you tune into their spirits and you're a caretaker, it takes time to learn a person that doesn't have the ability to maybe speak or walk or have all the natural abilities. But once you learn their qualities, you will know that it's a very unique quality.
Right. And I can relate because I myself have cerebral palsy also. And, it's not as severe, but I deal with a lot of the issues that, people that have cerebral palsy deal with. And I can honestly tell you, man, it's been a long journey for me and my family. But I am grateful that my family, took the time to help me get where I am. And I want to ask you, being a parent that has a child with cerebral palsy, how has that been for you?
Well, I'm gonna keep it real and be honest. So people know me in the city at wearing many different hats. I mean, I worked for the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival for maybe 20, 25 years of my life. I'm one of the original producers. I was given a job, by Mr. Quinn Davis to start the Essence Music Festival when we created the convention center. That's the language of party with a purpose. And 3 of my favorite musicians when they were kids, my brother Russell Baptiste, of course, he passed at 57, but trombone Shorty, most people know him, and my cousin John Baptiste. We worked a lot together, but this was in their early stages while they were at high school. And I had a chance to take another gentleman by the name of Christian Scott, who changed his name to South Africa at the encouragement of Donald Harrison. So my life was always intertwined with being a musician and an artist, So my father, David Baptiste Sr., who's also in the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, we were pretty much children celebrities at an early age, 5, 7 years of age. I played at the Jazz Fest at the age of, I think, 7 in 1978. But because that was my life until I had kids, got married at 35, all of my kids, the mom suffered preeclampsia, so all the kids were preemies,
Yes.
and DJ was born a preemie at East Jefferson at the time. They didn't diagnose him. We really didn't know what the problem was, and we kept on getting false hope that he would talk by a certain time
Right.
frame or walk at a certain time frame. So imagine that as a parent. Just imagine that you have that expectation to want to have a conversation with your child. So I developed something that I didn't know I was doing. It was called kangaroo care.
Hmm.
I carried my son around like the animals, like kangaroos. I mean, he was I had a pouch,
Yeah.
my arms,
Yeah.
and so I basically, well, I'm not too hard on myself right now, but I consider myself a parent that I should have showed tougher love, but I carried my son. I didn't want to let him go,
Hmm.
so I didn't want him to have to, struggle and try and do things that maybe he didn't have the abilities to do, and we didn't have the expertise in the state of this city because our city, bluntly, we are an oil and gas state, we are a tourism state, and we are a state that sells a lot of food and beverage.
Yes.
So that's where people put their time into, not so much in expertise and the caretaking for kids and families with special needs and disabilities and cerebral palsy. So I had to learn that quality, and that's my son has given me a new wrinkle
Yep.
that has lasted. Now he's 18 years of age. A good friend of mine by the name of a former a retired Marine, Mr. Melvin Ferdinand, came and took one of my favorite pictures of me holding my son because I was always doing business, but my office was kind of like Children's Hospital
Yeah.
because that's where I had to do a lot of business at because we had a lot of emergencies that took place, time after time after time. And I remember, I shied away from social media for a long time because I felt like, that was taking a short route. You got to experience it yourself. So my son has allowed me to tap into new resources that God has allowed me to experience that I didn't know that I really have, but I know now. And we are going to share this with the rest of the world in a very, very, um, interactive way to say that these human beings have just as much right as we do,
Mm.
and there's no reason why we should not create an experience that they could have a normal life or experience things and be excited as a normal person as best as we can. And that's all I'm doing.
One of the hardest things, being differently able, through my experience, has been that self acceptance. I tell this story every week, basically on my show. Um, my grandmother passed in 2017, and you know, I was still dealing with being insecure about you know cerebral palsy, and you mentioned social media. I fired up YouTube one day and said, here I am. I'm a cerebral palsy warrior too, and a lot of people, you know, knew about my limitations and my disability, and everybody basically said the same thing. They said that we were just waiting on you to say, gain enough courage to say it. So I admire you being a father, who's taking that extra step and putting this out there, saying, hey, this is my son, I'm his father, and this is what we do. Um, and it was just very
Well,
touching to talk
honestly,
to you.
my son has probably a bigger fan club than I do. I
Yeah,
mean, I
yeah,
mean, people love him around the world. They don't ask about me. The first thing most people ask me is, "How is your son?"
yeah.
I mean, really, they don't ask about anybody else. They say, "How is your son doing?" His
Hmm.
smile has inspired me to do something,
Yes, yes,
and I
yeah.
get that from around the world. I was known as DJ's dad,
Hmm.
because that's his name, DJ, not Damon Baptiste of the Baptiste family, the brothers. I
Right.
was just known as DJ's dad.
How did that make you feel, man? Did we
I'm
lose you?
sorry, can you repeat that
I
again?
said, how did that make you feel? When what was that first initial reaction
Honestly, I
like?
was just I was amazed, man. I was just so happy that because Russell, my brother Russell Baptiste, me and him had so much fun together
Hmm.
as musicians. And I have a cousin that to me, he's a hero. His name is William McGee Jr. We call him Pedo, but he's a celebrated educator. He has cerebral palsy, a disability, but his disability was different. He could walk,
Hmm.
he could talk, he could think. He just had to, have braces, and his mother did it a different way. Maybe showed him tough love, and
Yeah,
he walked.
yeah.
So he crawled, and so his mom didn't take any pity off of him.
Hmm.
So I understand that now, a lot better because kids don't understand disabilities, man. When you're just playing football and a kid can't come out and play football because he doesn't have the same abilities or he may not be able to walk. So it was emotional, but because he was my son and I loved him and I thought he was going to walk and talk and everything, I really
Right.
you know, he was born at like 13 ounces. He had a PDA, so he went through so much. But we had a turning point when he had the reconstructive back surgery
Hmm.
at Children's Hospital with Dr. Tim, who and I, him and I have developed a friendship. But my son gained 5 inches,
Really?
you know.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So some of those things, man, were just, like beyond. It was like a miracle to me because when New Orleans is a very small town. Everybody knows each other. So, some people think of that as just a normal thing. Well, he's dealing with something like everybody else. It's just has to have a child with a disability. But it's a little bit more.
Hmm.
And I'm saying that, the insensitive of as a human being, the selfishness as humans, we just want to, take care of ourselves. We're not really worried about somebody else's problem.
Right.
But another turning point is I was a president of the Rotary Association in Metairie, the Metairie Sunrise Rotary Club. And I was so proud of that moment because my grandmother was a janitor at Sears and Roebuck for years,
Hmm.
at where, people of color could never really be in a Rotary,
Right.
especially not in Metairie.
Right.
So by me being the president of a Rotary Club, and we did something phenomenal. Our Rotary Club with the Cheer Up Mission, we donated a whole container of books and medical supplies. While I had founded the Baptiste Arts Academy, we took a long journey to the Philippines because they had a hurricane. And when I saw the orphans and when I saw this so-called third world country, how they took care of kids with disabilities, special needs, they had a special care for those kids. Those kids were the work that I was doing, they had 3 nurses that was assigned to a child like my son. Everybody took 3 shifts. That's 24 hours in a day.
Hmm.
8 times 3 is 24. I said, wow, I'm really doing something that I didn't know I could even
Of
do.
course. Yeah.
And then DJ, has had he was just blessed to have a phenomenal grandmother.
Mm.
His grandmother has outperformed any hospital because she just took a love on my own son even deeper than I have that I didn't know, because grandmothers are different, you know.
Yeah.
And his mom is, his mother is from Nicaragua, so
Right.
the Latin culture is different. They have a different type of way that other people have in families. So my son was living better than me,
I tell everybody,
He
man.
he was living like a king,
I
and he
tell
still is.
Yeah, I tell
So I'm
everybody.
happy, man.
My
You know.
grandmother. You struck a nerve when you said grandmother because my grandmother was right there, man, with me all the way up until a grown man. Grandmothers are the greatest.
No, man, I see it with my own eyes. And my son, if you see a smile and you see him, the whole world is going to see him because it's something that, you might know about the Baptiste family members that play music. This is much more extraordinary than just a musician. This is somebody that's going to tap into humanity, you know, and the spirits because we can't bring anything with us once we leave. So why not do the best you can while you're here, you know? And I was always, somebody that just wanted to have fun because I grew up in New Orleans. So we never was really taught to, you know, focus in on the special needs, go visit this, go visit that. So we're sharing a new message, and it's a wonderful thing to share in our city, in our state, and then I have the privilege to do it around the world. And that to me is an honor that, I don't take lightly. And it's just something I'm like, well, some things you're chosen to do. And I'm going to ask all my friends that ever ask me for tickets for concerts, tickets for shows or anything out of me, I'm going to ask them to give something back to this community.
All right, man. So I'm gonna put you on pause for a minute.
Challenge them.
Right.
Okay.
I'm gonna put you on pause for a minute because we got a couple of people that want to talk to you. All right, is that cool?
That sounds great. No
all right,
problem.
man. So we're gonna go to DJ's grandfather first, Mr. Baptiste. Mr. Baptiste, are you there?
I'm here. Como se va? Yes. That's Damon's grandfather. My father was born in New Iberia and he was raised in New Iberia in Lafayette. So I'm going to get straight to it. I am so proud as a father of my son Damon. I'm proud of all of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I just recently lost my oldest son, Damon's older brother, Russell.
Yes.
Who passed away of a massive heart attack. As a musician, one of the greatest musicians, as Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones say, one of the best musicians, drummers he's heard in his life. And Mick Jagger don't talk small talk about musicians. Right. And I'm proud of that.
I want to ask you, sir.
Go ahead.
I want to ask you,
sir.
Look,
I just want to say that before my dad said this, I have to give the props to DJ's Latino grandfather, Roger Mason Sr., who's been with my son every day since since COVID, that basically has put in the work, not lights, camera, action, but this gentleman has cared for my son as well as any grandfather, any father on the planet Earth. And I'm seeing this with my eyes. So they're not musicians on his mom's side. They're doctors and, they're of other things. But for me to be blessed with, in-laws or, family members to take care of my son because, being from New Orleans, man, everybody just want to, do their thing with the entertainment side. We're known to second line and stuff like that, but my son can't second line, so he wasn't around the Baptiste brothers at all, Some of his family members have never called him, never seen him before, never even went to his house to give him a hug, man,
So, Mr. Baptiste, I want to ask you,
yes, sir.
What is the biggest improvement that you've seen in your grandson since, him and his dad have started this whole journey?
DJ smile. He's constantly have one of the biggest, prettiest smile, handsomest smile, and DJ, as Damon said, they were expecting DJ not to make it to 2 years old, and DJ is far past that right now. And I would see my son Damon carrying my grandson like DJ was a part of his body. And most men, some like in that situation when a woman come up, you got the 2 kids and you got a kid with special needs. Some of the cats would have bailed out. They would have left. I've seen that situation. Poor ladies left with their child with special needs, and the guy, it just got so hard for him. And as an African-American man, you done got fired off your job. All kind of other stuff is happening. That the white police is hassling you for trying to walk across the street the wrong way. And boom, now she's left with these kids. But Damon stayed with this lady, his wife, and just everywhere I would see my grandson. When I got a chance to keep him every now and then, I did that to help my son. But he would be that man. I know. I said that's part of David. That man. He would be there for that child, always, like I've been there for my children. And so for kids and that have parents with special needs that stayed with your child, the men that stayed with the women, and the women that stayed with the men to go through this. I've seen DJ smile. He's right about his grandparents. Habla Español. They call me Agualito, but I'm nothing in the grand. I'm not nothing compared to Roger, because Roger is 24/7,
Right.
and the grandmother is that 24/7. I wish I could be that 24/7.
All right. So you know what?
But I love the improvement that I've seen in my grand.
All right. So I got to put y'all on pause because we got to go to our first break.
Go ahead.
All right.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
All
Be
right.
blessed.
So this is Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com and also on YouTube. We'll be right back after this. Stay tuned, New Orleans. This is Conversations with Ron Richardson. See you in a sec.
2517 Bayou Road is the place to be. Nine of those kids cuisine and pastries.
Sunday nights just got hotter. DJ Wicked's live and Nine Nose Cajun cuisine for the throwback. Throw down! October 26th from 7 to 10. Old school hip hop and R&B. Good vibes and WBOK in the building. Don't miss it!
Are you looking for the next burlesque sensation? Searching for some prime entertainment on a Sunday night? Well, come down to the Always Lounge as Scarlett Letta presents Show Me Your Noobs. You'll see the finest new entertainers performing burlesque, drag, and a variety of acts that will tease, titillate, and delight you. We're here every third Sunday of the month. Come catch the most raved about show in New Orleans that no one has ever heard of until now. Show Me Your Noobs. It's the perfect night out, whether you're a burlesque regular or sharing your first time with us. Show Me Your Noobs will leave you breathless.
New Orleans, are you ready? A fresh voice in the city is here, bringing you the beats, the culture, and the stories that matter. From local music and food to real talk on what's happening in the streets. We've got you covered. Stay tapped in. Follow us on all platforms at WBOK 1230 for the latest updates and exclusive content. Your city, your culture, your news. Don't just hear about it, be about it. Follow WBOK 1230 now.
Hey family, Ron Richardson here, host of Conversations with Ron Richardson. If you're looking for quality catering and barbecue, you need to contact my friends at Kuzan's Catering and Barbecue Team. Mr. Eddie Bunch and Kuzan's have been serving the West Bank since 2013 with their quality selection of barbecue and seafood. If you're looking for quality catering, be sure to contact Kuzan's Catering, located at 618 Westwood Drive in Marrero, or you can go to kuzansonline.com for more information for all the services that they offer, or call 504-233-4227. Catering done the right way just for you. That's Kuzan's, baby.
New Orleans, you want to know what we're talking about? Tune in every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WBOK for Conversations with Ron Richardson. The topics will always be hot and the conversation will be all the way live. Meet us there. We'll save you a seat. We can also talk about you and your business as a sponsor of Conversations with Ron Richardson. Contact Ron at 504-874-4584 or email him at richardsonronald024@gmail.com for more details.
Hey WBOK 1230 family, this is Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast. Make sure you're tuning in every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. to Conversations with Ron Richardson, where the conversations are all the way live and informative. Conversations with Ron Richardson every Saturday on WBOK 1230 a.m.
WBOK, online at WBOK1230.com.
It's the place where we can be open and honest about real-life issues. You're listening to Conversations with Ron Richardson, live on WBOK and online at WBOK1230.com.
Welcome back. This is Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com and also on YouTube. Remember, guys, for everyone who wants to shoot me a follow, you can find me on social networking. You can search for Ronald_Richardson_Jr. on Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook. Just search for Ronald Richardson or Ron Rich on Facebook. And you can also find out everything that I have going on in the world of radio, a little bit of my personal life, and what's going on with my beloved dog, Queen. And I would like to welcome back the man of the hour and my special guest co-host, Miss Keitra Jones and Mr. Damon Baptiste. Damon, you still hanging with me?
I'm here. I'm with you, brother. I ain't going nowhere.
And Sister Lakeitra. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm well.
Yeah, Miss Papa Baptiste, I'm still here, Daddy. I'm gonna be with my kids all the way till I'm gone.
Right. All right, man. So tell us a little more about this organization that you started, Damon.
Well,
Because I.
NOSACON was started in 1998.
Mhm.
I had the pleasure of being asked by the former mayor, Mark Muriel, to be culture ambassador. Actually, I was introduced to South Africa by way of Mark's brother, Jacques Muriel. Had encouraged me to talk to Carl Galman, who was, the city of New Orleans at the time had the International Relations Division, and the Baptiste brothers were really, very, very, very popular in New Orleans. So people knew, the Baptiste, being with the Baptiste brothers was really a big, push in the beginning of the organization, because people knew that I was a musician with the brothers, played, worked at the Jazz Fest, Essence, and things like that. So it gave me an opportunity to see the world in a different lens. So I was either thinking about, I was just getting off a plan. I used to be the percussionist with George Clinton in the P-Funk All-Stars, and we did the Sinbad Aruba show.
Really? Okay.
And then the next year, that was 1997 on HBO. Then the next year, I was figuring out where would I go at, and then my former, my boss at the time at Jazz was Buddy Murphy, and he said, why don't you take a look at Africa? So it was a time where Africa was looking at the African Renaissance, because South Africa was just coming out of apartheid, only 3 or 4 years. So by chance, I happened to go to South Africa in July, not knowing, that Nelson Mandela's birthday was July the 18th.
Uh-huh.
I had a chance to go to his concert. It was called Gift to the Nation. And you had Stevie Wonder with his ex-wife, Sharita Wright, Jermaine Jackson, Drew Hill, Shaka Khan, a tremendous amount of South African talent that I had never heard, and world talent, because Mandela was the world figure, and I had a chance to meet him backstage, and it just was, it was a life-changing opportunity, because I actually traveled the country. I stayed there for 3 months, and instead of focusing on the African Renaissance, I, had a vision to connect my own, vision, which was New Orleans to South Africa, and I created the New Orleans South Africa Connection, NOSACON Inc., which is now one of the most. We did things first on the continent and in South Africa before any corporation in history, as far as connecting the communities, and the rest is history.
Again, if I might add, my son did a New Year's Eve festival when everybody was going crazy about what's the Y2K and everything else from 1999 to 2000. My son arranged for us to do a music festival in a cricket stadium in South Africa, a place called East London, South Africa, where blacks had never been on that field except to manicure it. And
Right.
Here it is. He convinced them. And we had the police, the Army, the Navy. They brought us in to show Damon and I. They took us up in a helicopter ride to show us how they would maintain close to 1 million people that comes out on the beach on New Year's Eve. That was that for a father. See, and I had worries about my son going to South Africa. Why? I was like every other uninformed person about Africa. They're over there, they're dying, they're getting sick and everything else. Then you get over there, it's god dog paradise. You almost hate to come back to the United States. People hadn't seen East London, Johannesburg, Cape Town, Port Elizabeth. You wouldn't go home.
Wow.
You just wouldn't come home, and your money's worth more over there.
and
I went over there with $100. I had $100 bill, and they gave me 1,000 rand back in their funds. So, but
Wow.
my son Damon arranged that through his New Orleans South African connection.
Yeah, we did a lot. The biggest thing that I did in the U.S. was to bring about 150 artisans to celebrate their 10th anniversary from apartheid at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, which really, it predated a lot of things, like all the celebrities that's going there now. You know, we've taken people like Steve Harvey, Gabrielle Union, Kirk Franklin, many people, but we brought people here like Miriam Makeba, Mama Africa, Hugh Masekela, Lady Smith Blackman Bazo, Johnny Clegg, you know.
Houston Endure.
Phenomenal, yeah, Houston Endure from Senegal. So it connected us to the African diaspora. And a lot of things were done because of the music of my father, David Baptiste, Russell Baptiste. And I must give a shout out to my mother, Patricia Johnson, Patricia Cummins Johnson, and my stepfather, Newman Johnson, for giving me an opportunity to learn business, because my mom and dad, you know, they always had their own private business. So I got a chance to be a musician with my father, David Baptiste. My mother and Newman had a bus service. So I got a chance to be up, you know, to see up close and personal how a private business was run. And that has allowed me to do things that I would have never imagined, you know, continuously. And now we're getting more opportunities every day.
Right. I want to ask you.
Yes.
I want to ask
and I got it in my son. I had to put my son into it, because by DJ not being a musician like Russell or Damon, you know, I had to ask God to allow me to work with my son so I could, you know, have him feel just as important as anybody else. And I think this is the next phase. And my dad what he didn't say is last night, I'm in Baton Rouge right now. We did the Gala on the Bluff with Southern University College of Business, a phenomenal event. And we were awarded a certificate by a local organization for what we've done with kids. And we're going to share that through music and raise funding and raise awareness from kids around the world.
I want to ask you, what is a typical day like with DJ? You know, when it comes to, you know, taking care of him and doing all the things that he needs.
Before and after COVID, a typical day with DJ, because, you know, the kids with cerebral palsy, the special need kids, they love food. You know, DJ, my son has a great appetite. Yeah. A typical day with him, with his grandma now, would be to take his medicine, have breakfast, listen to music, because he loves Latin music. You know, he loves ballads, and basically just, you know, his mom does video calls with him because she had suffered a few minor setbacks with health issues, and people just love to talk to him. So it's a repetitious thing daily. But we took him to the Gentilly Fest.
Yeah,
he smiles. You know, he loves to be out, man. He loves to have a stroll. You know, he loves when you take him out on the stroll, and just, you know, he loves the outdoors. So I'll document that, because we want to share that with other parents and do a little research. Like, 'cause that's an easy question, but it's yet a difficult question, because you have to figure out what that child is into. You know, what makes that child that can't tell you what he wants to do. You have to feel it out. So that's what a typical day is. You feeling things out. And if they have like seizures, or, you know, you can't get medications, it's a very nerve-wracking thing to not be able to deliver something for a person that can't do it for themselves. So it's like, you know, you have to be you're always on call, basically.
So what do you think, being a parent that has a child with special needs, what do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions?
Well, the biggest misconceptions is like what we're going through in America, man, that they don't need the resources. Like, you know, the school system has taken away the special needs division out of the Department of Education. Those kids and those families need every single resource they can get their hands on. You know, it's serious. It's a matter of life and death, man. That's what I think.
Right. We're going to kick it over to my co-host.
We have to do more, you know.
Right. Put you on pause for a minute. We're going to kick it over to my co-host, Miss Lakeitra, because she wanted to interject. So, Lakeitra.
So I have a question. You said that
Yeah.
His family on
Yeah.
his mother's side, like the way that they embrace children altogether, but special needs children. Do you think that something that we need to implement more in New Orleans?
Yes, indeed, ma'am. not only New Orleans, but I can, we're coming up with a case study to do exactly what you just said, document how, what, why, and then see if it could be implemented with other families. Because DJ is receiving such special and good care. It's not normal because most of these kids don't have anyone,
Right.
They don't have a support system. They really don't. And
as a grandfather, I've seen that too. Through my son's program, I worked at the school for 10 years, and I have my son to thank to say that for the first time in American history, I was the first African American to have a school, the D.R. Baptiste Cultural Academy, named after me for music in Carlson Alter, from through his son, through one of his son's wonderful programs. But the grandparents that I've seen through working with those kids coming to school, I've seen grandparents coming to school with special needs. I've seen some stuff that really, how frustrated a mother could be. She's trying to go to work, and a handicapped child is trying to get out of the car. He's moving all slow, and she's having to move fast, and how the pressure could actually explode. You see some stuff that you didn't want to see, but some parents have so much pressure on them. That's why I talked about it earlier. The lady's left with a child or children with special needs. There's no help, and she's got to fight that. So I support the women that have to deal with these children by themselves. Like I watch my son. And then for a grandfather that has a grandson that never been able to say grandfather, or I love you, or anything like that, my heart, man, it just goes out to all of the parents. But when he looks at you with your eyes, I know he loves me. When I touch him, I could feel the love between my grandson and myself. So my heart goes out to everybody. I'm getting ready to bail out off, and you guys finish up. But I support my son. I support all of the parents out there with special needs grandchildren, and I've seen them. I've met them, bringing those kids to school in the morning. Mm-hmm. And how dare those people take away these special needs programs for medicine, for physical stuff? Then they need to be moved around, exercise. Sometimes you have a one-on-one person that would come to the school and deal with the child that was in the wheelchair, had maybe. So all I'm saying is support these parents, support my son in this program, because I know his heart is in it. It's not for glory or not for anything else. And as I said, from Africa to here, to Mexico, to France, my son has brought his family. I did stuff early on with my David Baptiste and the Gladiator stuff, but in some of the things I looked at what my son has got us into in some of the wonderful programs, it's pale comparison to actually doing not only just entertainment, but education, medical stuff, caring about family, keeping people together instead of tearing people apart. That's what my son has been about. So I love this station. I've been dealing with WVOK since it was on Barone Street.
Yeah.
So Champ Clark and Al Gurrier and all the other people. I played my first live song on WVOK, my live song. So I have much love for the station.
Man,
appreciate you giving my son this time.
I appreciate it.
And everybody out there, get some business from WVOK, man. Buy your commercials. Support the station.
Yeah.
Do that stuff. Are you high rollers out there?
Yeah.
Y'all be blessed.
We can only hope, my brother, but thank you for calling in and all the best to you. All right, sir?
Thank you, sir.
All right.
I love you, Damon.
All right. So, Damon, what are some other things that we can expect to see you do with the organization and with your son? What are some expectations that you have from starting this organization, and how would you like to get your son and other people more involved?
Well, I have an opportunity to develop a lot of parts of the African continent, and we're just working out different plans. Actually, in September, I just got back from South Africa for my 91st visit. I did an announcement at the WOMAD Music Festival. We started the NOSA. So we have a totally different team in South Africa. I have an office there, programs in Cape Town and Durban, sister city partnerships. And it's just an extension of things that were talked about by MLK, Malcolm X, Stephen Biko, Nelson Mandela, Gandhi. Our some of the greatest leaders in the world. Because of technology, we get a chance to see if we can execute great programming and just make the world a better place. So I'm trying to do a whole lot. Who knows what God will allow me to execute? And I just, He's allowed me to be a thinker.
All right,
and the executor.
Do you mind if we take another call because we have somebody that's on the line waiting to get in contact with you. Let's see here. We got Mr. Donald Andrews. Donald?
How you doing this morning?
All right, how you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm Donald Andrews. I'm Dean of the College of Business here at Southern University in Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to salute Damien for the work he's doing with NOSACON, as well as the work he's doing with disabled kids.
Yes.
So I've watched him mature. He was a part of our leadership program with Ambassador James Joseph, who was former ambassador to South Africa during the term of Nelson Mandela. So, and David has helped more or less in terms of putting on concerts here with the college. We just did our 23rd Gala on the Bluff last night, and we had a great success with about 1,000 people and generate some money for scholarships for deserving students. So I just wanted to say thank you to Damien.
No, and I want to say thanks to Dean. The Dean has been a very, big inspiration in my life as an educator and as a business person and as a father. I've seen how he deals with his kids and his family. He's taken me on as an extended family person. We talked about how Alvin Baptiste influenced my cousin John Baptiste in jazz. And I'm hoping the Dean will continue to do his work internationally because he's just taken like 40 students to Ghana this past June. So it's really the sky's the limit, Ronald, of what we could possibly do because we're constantly evolving and constantly working. So the sky is really the limit. And speaking to people like you being introduced, thank you, DJ Wicker, for making a contact with us.
Shouts out to
I just feel like it's limitless what we could do, honestly.
Yeah. Wick is a good brother, man, because when he called, he texted me actually. He texted me and he said, "Hey, man, I got an interview for you," and I was like, "Well, we'll see if we can get him in." So, shouts out to my brother Wick for setting this up, man. And
he's a classmate, class of '86, and we have this thing called Gumbo Coolio. You can Google it.
Okay.
30% of the online sales goes to our organization to do community outreach, and last night was phenomenal, man. I'm still in Baton Rouge. Mm-hmm. We had a great time of like 1,000 people to give deserving scholarships to students, HBCUs when they're cutting funds. So we're not letting up. Even though we hear bad things on the news, we're not stopping.
Right.
You're not going to we're not quitting.
Right. The biggest thing is, man, is I always say it does take a village. It takes a village to, not only raise a child, but it takes a village to get people where they need to be, and you're one of the brothers in the community that is like really, really, doing a damn thing as far as like putting the word out there that, hey, my son has a disability, but, he's going to lead a great life. And it seems like you have
he's going to lead. He's going to be an inspiration because I have a daughter at Tulane University. She's a junior. I have another daughter that's at Arizona State. She's a freshman. Mm-hmm. So my kids have been my biggest inspiration in life besides my parents and my brother.
Yes.
So DJ is just doing what he's supposed to do. He's just inspiring his dad.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's just doing what he's supposed to do, man. Being an inspiration. Mm-hmm. He's God sent.
Yeah. He's inspiring me, man, because like I said, I'm a CP warrior as well, and I am inspired by him because I'm like, hey, I can get up and move throughout my day with minimal issues. I mean, I still have my aches and pains, but I'm looking at this kid and I'm looking at you, and I'm like, wow, if I got to keep going for him. because
Right.
he's a fellow CP warrior as well. So, man, it has been
Demond
great.
Crump, Demond lived in New Orleans. He now living in Atlanta, Georgia, running an organization, and his son goes with him everywhere. So, you just watch people and you just get inspired.
Right. All right. So you know what? We got to go to our last break, my man. All right. So hang tight.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Dean.
All right. Conversations with Ryan Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com with my special guest, Mr. Damon Baptiste, talking about cerebral palsy and disability. And we have my co-host, Miss Lakeitra Jones. Lakeitra, tell the people where they can get in contact with you.
You can reach me on Facebook, Lakeitra Jones, and actually my poetry name is Bliss Jones, so you can find me on there. And I'm also on Instagram under Bliss Jones and TikTok.
All right, man. This is Conversations with Ryan Richardson. We'll be right back after this. Stay tuned. We got more coming up with Damon Baptiste right here on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com. See you in a second. Peace.
Hello, friend. Tavis Smiley here with a special announcement. You can catch my show at a new time. Weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Same great topics, same great guests, same great conversations, just a little earlier in the day. It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m. only on WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about.
Are you looking for the next burlesque sensation? Searching for some prime entertainment on a Sunday night? Well, come down to the Always Lounge as Scarlett Letta presents Show Me Your Noobs. You'll see the finest new entertainers performing burlesque, drag, and a variety of acts that will tease, titillate, and delight you. We're here every third Sunday of the month. Come catch the most raved about show in New Orleans that no one has ever heard of until now. Show Me Your Noobs. It's the perfect night out, whether you're a burlesque regular or sharing your first time with us. Show Me Your Noobs will leave you breathless.
This is Monica Pierre along with Sally Ann Roberts-Daybone, co-host of Your Power is On.
Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for music that feeds the spirit. Get your Sunday on.
Right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. and WBOK1230.com, the station you listen to all day long.
Ryan Richardson here. If you are like me, that means you love the feeling of getting a fresh haircut and shave. If you do, then you should check out my friends Eddie and Dana Bunch at First Impressions Barber and Beauty Salon, specializing in hairstyles for men, women, and children. If you want to make a good first impression, you should check out First Impressions Barber and Beauty Salon located at 618 Westwood Drive in Marrero or call 504-341-6777. Remember, it's never too late to make that first impression at First Impressions Barber and Beauty Salon.
New Orleans, you want to know what we're talking about? Tune in every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WBOK for Conversations with Ron Richardson. The topics will always be hot and the conversation will be all the way live. Meet us there. We'll save you a seat. We can also talk about you and your business as a sponsor of Conversations with Ron Richardson. Contact Ron at 504-874-4584 or email him at richardsonronald024@gmail.com for more details.
Hey WBOK 1230 family, this is Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast. Make sure you're tuning in every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. to Conversations with Ryan Richardson, where the conversations are all the way live and informative. Conversations with Ron Richardson every Saturday on WBOK 1230 a.m.
If someone asks,
Yeah!
let them know you listen to WBOK.
Thanks for listening to Conversations with Ron Richardson, live on WBOK, and listen online at WBOK1230.com. Now, back to Ron.
Welcome back. This is Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com and also on YouTube. Remember, guys, if you want to catch yours truly on the go, you can hit me up on Facebook. Just search for the Ron Richardson or Ron Rich Facebook page. And you can also find me on Instagram. Just search for Ronald_Richardson_Jr. on Instagram. You can find out everything you need to know about yours truly. And you can hit us up, drop us a line, give us a call, 582-9422. 504-582-9422. And I have my special guest co-host, Miss Lakeitra Jones. How you doing, Ma?
Hi.
You hanging?
I'm good. I'm listening and learning.
All right. And we also have my special guest, the man of the hour, the well-known, world famous Baptiste family, Mr. Damon Baptiste. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Loving this conversation. Thank you for giving us a platform.
I appreciate you, man. This is an honor. All my life, I've heard about the world famous Baptiste family from my grandfather, my late great grandfather, Mr. Edward Augustine. He would always talk about, the family and how he knew a lot of you guys. And I'm just honored and privileged, man, to have you on my show and to be talking about the things that we're talking about, because this is a much needed conversation, not a much needed topic, but a much needed conversation that needs to be spoke on, because, there's still a lot of things that, people don't know about disabilities. When you really think about it, I was, looking at some paperwork. The Americans with Disabilities Act is relatively young. It was founded and passed in 1991. So that's,
that's right around the corner.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a newborn, bro.
Right. And
yeah.
I can remember growing up with cerebral palsy. If it wasn't for my family, we would have gotten, lost in the mix of medically, as far as, getting the resources, because we didn't have a lot of resources. When I got diagnosed at a young age, I think I was like maybe 3 or 4. So, to see everything that's going on now with, the resources and different technology and things that have helped people, like myself and like your son DJ, man, it is really amazing, man. And you are the one that is really spearheading this movement of trying to get more information out there and pushing the envelope and just trying to get people the help that they need. So I want to touch on you for a second. How would you define yourself? Well, how would you define success for yourself personally and professionally, my brother? Did we lose him?
Okay, no, okay.
Yeah, I lost you for a second. Did you hear me?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was saying that at the age of 35, I did something that, I felt like I had already been blessed, 3 or 4 lifetimes by the time I hit 35, before I had kids.
Mm-hmm.
So after, I had married, had children, then God gave me additional challenges to, it says, be careful what you ask for, because you might get it. So I asked God to challenge me and allow me to understand things in a different way and help others and share. And that is what DJ represents, sharing and caring.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how I find myself, That's success, is sharing and caring.
Right.
You can't take any material things with you when you go on there.
Yeah, you can.
So I love to do stuff for other people that, that didn't have an opportunity.
I was watching something on YouTube, and they said, we really live a rented life. So, you might as well enjoy the things that, are here while you can, but be sure that you help those around you, and you try to spread that good word and just get the information out there. And you, my friend, are a prime example.
I love doing that, and that's just who I am as a person, man. I can't help it.
Right.
I really love helping people.
Right. Well, for a guy like me, I'm really impressed, and I'm just really proud to, call you friend and call you an associate, because you're doing big things. So what's next for you, man, and for your organization?
Well, I do have I live part-time in South Africa, in Johannesburg, Cape Town, Durban, and just to grow, make the connection in the African diaspora that we have not been educated as Americans, and just share that with people and allow them to expand their knowledge, expand their education, and have some of the experiences that I have had over the past 30 years.
Right. So what are your plans for the organization for the upcoming new year?
Well, I'll be in South Africa. We I just signed an agreement to do music festivals with the WOMAD Cape Town Music Festival as well as the Jazzathon that's based in Cape Town. And that's all I do is music festivals, special events, workshops, educational forums as a platform to support kids, families with special needs, disabilities with a focus on cerebral palsy. Right. That will be the rest of my life.
So in closing, my brother, any positive words of encouragement that you would like to give to the people?
I would just say, tell somebody the positive word is, just go to our website, NOSACON, and just learn about us and let us know how we can work together. That's it.
All right. You have an upcoming gala, am I right? Quickly about that.
There's a Cerebral Palsy Foundation gala in New York City on the 27th of October that I'll be in New York with some of our partners like M&T Bank, Rise Services, Acumen, and Cerebral Palsy Foundation, and making a huge announcement in New York on the 27th of October.
All right, man. All the best to you in the near future, and we will meet each other soon, okay?
Thank you, my brother. Peace.
All right, my brother. Peace and love.
All right, cool.
All right,
Thank
this
you.
has been Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com. I would like to thank my very special guest, Mr. Damon Baptiste, and my very special guest co-host, Miss Lakeitra. All right, you good?
We're good.
You were a little nervous, huh?
A little bit.
Next time, you'll be better.
I'll be better next time.
This has been Conversations with Ron Richardson. Peace and love, and I will see you guys same time, same bad channel, same place next week. New Orleans, I love you. Talk to you soon. Peace.
WBOK online at